Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Game 2 between OG and Yellow Submarine in the lower brackets of the Epic League tournament. We saw OG take that first game very convincingly. Yellow Submarine just got... well, they just got dismantled, really. There wasn't much they could really do to get back in it unless they had the most dream play of all their ultimates possible. It was just a very dark situation for them. They were behind and it would just have taken a humongous amount of effort to try and bring and get ahead again. So we'll see. Maybe they're going to bounce back this game. Maybe try something a little bit different, or maybe just bring their A game and just crush OG in return. You know, how do you outslay a slayer? You slay real damn hard. That's how you do it. So we'll see what their play is going to be. They've got the first pick this game. We'll see if they're going to go for their Vanilla Void again, put that into the hands of Yotaro and just hope that he has a better lane this time. Or, you never know, they might try and go for the old Omni Sven combo themselves. Who knows? Who knows? Oh, they've gone for the Omni. They've gone for the Omni, so they're going to try and do it. Is OG just going to be a real arsehole and just take the Sven anyway? Yes, they are. So they're taking away the Sven. No possibility of that coming out for Yellow Submarines. So they'll probably grab like the PA instead to pair with it later on. They've grabbed the Mars now though, so that'll be in the hands of Collapse for the off lane. There's already been the Phoenix ban, so there's not going to be the potential for the big Arena Egg combo coming out. It is something that Yellow Submarine have run a few times in the past with Collapse and So Bad, but doing it pretty damn well. So we'll see what else they're going to grab for their position 4. You need someone who can pair up quite nicely with the Mars. Something like a Dark Willow or Elena. Both these two heroes that can really benefit from the increased stun. And then just try and lock people down and do as much damage as they possibly can before it wears off. So we'll see what they do go for in the end. But even still, OG got their second pick first. Already eating into their reserve time. So maybe they're just trying to think of what support to try and pair with this Sven. Oh, they're actually just grab the Enigma now. Maybe realize that Yellow Submarines banned it out pretty quickly in that previous game. Taking the option away from Seb. So they'll just take it now. Make sure that there's not going to be any other counter coming out. Well, not a counter, but the ban. There's potentially loads of counters now for this Enigma. But with Enigmas, it's not always the black hole, which is the scary thing. It's the threat of the black hole itself. You've got to be consciously aware of where you and your teammates are always positioned at times, so you never really have more than 2 people ever stood near each other, you know, in a tight proximity, just to try and make things a little bit more difficult for Seb. But of course, if you're focusing so much of your attention on doing this, then you're a little bit distracted from the main team fight. So you could potentially make mistakes that way. Or if you're playing really damn well in the team fight, you may potentially forgot about Enigma. So, you know, it's one of those situations with Enigma. It's not always necessary for them to get the big 5-man black hole that you normally see in like all the VOD plays and stuff, and like, you know, best of Dota 2. It's just a bonus when you get a 5-man black hole. It's just like, ooh, well played. But we'll see if Seb's able to get any of those miracle black holes off this game. Or, as I was saying, it may just be the threat of it. We'll have to wait and see. But OG, they've banned out the Faceless Void. Make sure Yotaro doesn't get that again. Even though he didn't do too great in the last game, it wasn't really the hero's fault. It's just the fact that he was severely lacking farm. Just Seb shut him down a bit too hard. Previously, they take that away. They also take away the PA. Another good pairing with the Omni Knight. Really able to use the status effect that comes out from the Heavenly Grace. Just so it's very difficult to try and lock the PA down. So we'll see what they probably ban out one more hero, like position 1 against Yotaro for their final ban. Who would they probably ban out? too sure really what the other sort of best ones. They could potentially go for something like a Spectre, but if they go for a Spectre, then you're expecting the game to try and go as late as it possibly can. And that's something the OG doesn't really give you the luxury of having, is a late game. They tend to just carry on applying pressure so quickly and so often that it's very difficult to try and just fall back and actually get your own farm on the go. But now it is the second pick phase. They banned out the Drow as their final ban out as well. Another hero which obviously doesn't really care too much about the Heavenly Grace that comes out of the Omni, but it really benefits from the Arena that comes out from the Mars, able to make plenty of space between her and the other cores. But even still, that is taken away from them. And even OG lead up now with the Lina pickup. So, Suxa Lina? I don't think I've really seen Suxa play Lina all that much. It's not his sort of style of hero. Maybe potentially could see it in the hands of No Tails, the 5. Maybe they might be just taking it as Thompson. We'll have to wait and see. Very flexible hero. But YeS Submarines, they take the Enchantress as their position. Ooh, position 4 grab? Is it going to be position? Where would they put the Omni Knight? Would they put? That's really weird. You tend to see like an Enchantress and an Omni. They're very, very largely, like 95% of the time, they're position 5s. So we'll probably see the Ench as the 4 in the hands of Sobad. It's not exactly like it's the biggest combo with the Mars. I mean, the slow that she can apply makes it a bit easier for the Mars to land the spears. But is that big enough of a combo? I'm sure yet. Have to see what 5 OG do end up grabbing. But at least if the Enchantress is the 5, then you could always try and steal like one of the Eidolons away from the Enigma. I mean, it's not exactly like it's an amazing, crazy play, but it could just be one of the small things that they do to try and hinder Seb's game a little bit. Oh, okay, so OG grabbed the Timber Saw. Okay, so that's most likely going to be for Seb then, and then the Enigma's going to be pushed to the 4 roll, and put it into hands of Suxa, and then 5 Lina, unless the Lina is going to be still for Thompson in the mid. I know Thompson has played the Timber Saw mid lane, but would you really pick that now for the mid lane without seeing what the other matchup's going to be? Probably not. So yeah, it's most likely going to be Seb Timber. Interesting play now by OG. Their drafts proper throwing some spanners in the work. YeS Submarine responds though by grabbing the Terrorblade. Okay, so Terrorblade can lane pretty decently up against the Timber, especially when he's got that meta online. So his right clicks from afar really hurt, even though the Timber will have the reactive armor stacks, it won't really be too effective until he gets a few more levels online. So it might potentially give the TB a decent start in the lane, and then maybe try and snowball off of it. I mean, at the moment though, YeS Submarines are really lacking stuns. All they have is the spear from the Mars, and the Mars isn't. It's not a guaranteed stun, you know. You have to make sure there's trees around, and then you have to make sure you actually hit it. It's very difficult. Meanwhile, OG, Sven's got one, Enigma's got one, Lina's got one. So this is already a little bit difficult now for the side of Submarines, in my opinion. They're just sort of losing the they're sort of just losing the stun war. I know it's not like a super problematic problem sometimes if your lineup just works really well anyway, but You are sort of lacking ways to try and limit the maneuverability of this Sven. I mean, you got slow from the end, sure. Is that going to have the biggest effect? I don't really think so. So it's probably still just the two mid laners left to pick up. We'll see what Yellow Submarines are going to grab for Tauren in the mid lane. You got Invoker or something? Oh, yeah, there you go, Invoker. So what's OG going to respond? Give top someone for that mid to lane up against the Invoker. It's one of his favourite heroes, so he probably knows what's really decent against it. What are OG sort of lacking? I don't know, it doesn't really feel they're lacking anything, to be honest. They've got a decent amount of damage spread amongst all the heroes. They've got plenty of lockdown, as I was saying. They've got the teamfight armor of the black hole. So maybe they could be a little bit greedy with this pick. Morphlin's already banned out. That would have been their primary pickup if that was still available. Maybe the Tiny again. Nah, probably not the Tiny again. Ember Spirit? No. Oh! Troll Warlord. Okay, so that's something we've not seen for a while. Troll mid lane in the hands of Thompson. He has run it before, and he's always been a pain in the ass whenever he's done it. He does it very well. It's just something that he doesn't really bring out the bag too often. So we'll see how he ends up performing this game on that role. I know he probably will struggle for a little bit in the laning phase against the Invoker. Just going to be easy targets for those EMP hits. So he's always going to be lacking quite a bit of mana. Unless Tauren's going to go big Exort build and try and set up some easy kills with collapse of his spear usage. That is a possibility. But looking at these lineups, it does feel a little bit more greedy because obviously in the previous game, Thompson on the Tiny, it's a hero that can get online very quickly and try and just make a bit of space across the map and get involved with a lot of kills. The Troll Warlord, it struggles a little bit more with that. Obviously needs an item or two before you become a real powerhouse and becomes difficult for the other team to try and stop. So we'll see how he uses it and what sort of build he's going to go for. He might just go for like a S and Y build, perhaps. Just try and get some early movement speed and status resistance as well. Let's see what he's going to do. I mean, looking at the lineups, I think I don't know. I think I just like OGs. It's so well rounded. Even though there is this troll mid lane pick, they've run it before to good success. But even still, they just got all their boxes ticked. They got plenty of damage. They got plenty of disable. So it's like tons of team fight, but the black hole alone is pretty potent. As I was saying earlier as well, the threat of it is sometimes better than the actual usage. Meanwhile, on the side of the Submarine, they got the Arena to make a little bit of space for your Taro once he pops that meta. Same sort of strategy that you would run if you had the Drow instead. But the Omni Knight, obviously, with the Heavenly Grace, it's to a much better effect if it's on a hero that really likes to get stuck in there. Obviously, Terrorblade doesn't really like to get stuck in there that much. He still likes to have a little bit of distance between him and whoever the hell he's hitting. So see how that ends up panning out. Maybe one Sucks can try and push forwards into the room, but it looks like Collapse and Soba. There might be enough space actually. They're just going to bail out. Soba's taking way too much damage. Good lord. The Omni Knight is very low already. Going to be forced to start eating those tangos as quickly as he possibly can. And then it actually ends up being 3 for 1 on the bounties. How did Miposhka not get that one? I missed that. I thought he was already walking up to the high ground. I don't know, I guess Thompson must have just rolled on over to him and scared the poor little Bambi away. I mean, it'd scare me as well if there was a troll with axes running at me and I was just a little deer with a spear. Very scary thing to go up against. So we'll have to see how this position 5 Enigma goes as well. This is quite an interesting sort of lineup coming up from the side of OG. Especially this is how this is a no-tail Enigma in the off lane as well. And then Sux is sort of running the Lina now as the position 5. Even though he and the hero tend to just be 4 roles. But OG, very flexible team. I'm sure this is something that they've experimented with. Even then, they probably haven't actually. It's probably just typical OG fashion of just sort of like, yeah, I'll do it. Why not? I'll give it a go. You know, we've got 1 win to work with, so it's not like this is a do or die for us at the moment. So maybe they're just playing with a little bit of fire. Ooh, up top. Oh, my bad. The collapse is getting pretty low. The right click's coming out from mid 1 and Sux is enough to actually bring him down. Even with the healing support that comes out from the Omni Knight, it's not enough to keep him alive. First blood going into the side of OG. So already, the safe lane from OG off to a great start. Mid lane, pretty good as well. Thompson at the top of that CS chart, and Tauron's only 5-0. I mean, sure, Thompson is getting harassed out quite a lot. He's already out of sustainability. No tangos left. Meanwhile, Tauron's got 3 and another one sat in his backpack. Now Thompson's got a little bit more delivered out though, so he should be able to start getting a little bit more involved in the lane. We'll see if he's able to sustain this big CS lead. Taro now his first level metamorphosis has run out. It's a little bit more difficult for him to try and secure CS up against this Timbersaw. He's still doing a pretty good job. I think Sucker's courage has died to the neutrals. I hate when that happens. I swear they changed that recently as well. Like, it felt like it never used to do that. Like the neutrals would just ignore your courier if it was running past. But now it just seems like they're hungry for it. As soon as there's a courier even in their vicinity, they're like, I'm getting that goddamn donkey. There's nothing more sad than losing your pair of boots to a troll. A neutral troll at that. But speaking of trolls, Thompson's still doing pretty good in this mid. Tauron nearly half his CS actually. 11-2 to the 19-7 of Thompson. Needs to try and start doing something to start bringing this a little bit better into his favour. Otherwise, Thompson, even though the Troll Warlord is a hero which, you know, takes a little bit longer to get online traditionally, he's going to be able to have a relatively decent game at this rate. Oposhka, though, just using all of his time to make No-Tail's life a living hell. Still only level 1 at nearly 4 minutes in. He's nearly level 2. But Oposhka just keeps coming over and chanting up the creeps that No-Tail really wants to farm up. Oh, Thompson trying to contest with the rune. He actually ends up spawning top anyway. And now he's going to start laying this with Oposhka, but he needs to be careful. The Say's actually coming around from the side. Thompson, he's taking quite a bit of damage here. He might just end up dying to the solo Bambi. Another Hadoken coming out in only a second. Oh, but he actually just died! Oh, that was even the impetus was so close to bringing the troll down. Oh, if that Satyr was alive for 1 more second, Thompson would have died there. And that would have been an amazing move by Miposhka, finding the kill onto the mid laner solo. Oh, he even just steals away the troll. What is with him and trolls this game? And Poshka's is on it. He's having a great game so far. Maybe he's feeling it. Sure, he's only 6-1, but even just these 2 plays that he's made has had such great effect, forcing Thompson all the way back to the base, whilst constantly hindering No-Tail's game. Very good position 5 plays. Meanwhile, Collapsing's so bad, they're trying to apply pressure onto mid 1, but it's still relatively difficult. The stun lead up there from mid 1, but the LSA is actually off the mark a little bit. They're still just going to carry on laying into him. It's going to force him all the way back. These top bounties have spawned. Sux is not even bothered really going for it yet. Actually, just doing so much damage onto so bad. Nearly brings him down. If he had enough mana for a dragon save, that would have been a free kill. Unfortunately for him, it's just not quite enough. Oh, and actually down bottom. Seb and No-Tail, they run down Yatoro, managing to net a free kill. Oh, and even the Midnight Pulse there from No-Tail just destroys all the trees. Had to try and run away. There's a Satyr was laying into the back of him. Seb just charging forward at Maposhka right now. Putting fear into the Bambi and actually ends up bringing her down just through the right clicks. Would he be able to get the kill onto Satyr as well? No. It dies once again just before any sort of great effect ends up happening. But Seb now just going to start running away with this mid bot lane. Level 6 is up, 3 points into the reactive armor, so he can even just happily tank this tier 1 tower at super low HP. Does not care in the slightest. Now this is Yutaro, forced to go into the jungle at level 5. Sure, it's not the best thing to happen in the world. You'd like to stay in your lane until like 6 or 7 generally and just try and farm up the camps to the side of it. But, you know, sometimes you just force out the lane because the person you're going up against is either A, a great hero against you, or just a great player itself. Soban ends up dying up top. Free kill for mid 1. So once again, this is all just going OG's favour. 4 kills up, 2k gold lead at 6 minutes 40. Ooh, Utaro able to do quite a lot of damage to Suxer, just barely able to survive there. Going to juke up to top. He chose the correct direction to go as Torn. Is he going to try and get a long range tornado, get the grab kill? Perfectly read though by Suxer. Even though he didn't have any... Oh wait, no, I lied. I was going to say, even though he didn't have any vision onto the on the evoke, he did it. But that was the ward watching him going to the pit. So he realised that move was coming out. Good bit of ward placement. So what's the farm difference between the two position ones this game? Already 1100 gold. It's 1100 gold, and now the Sven also has maximum level cleave. But the Terrorblade is much better at farming than a Faceless Void is. The illusions, once you start getting a few points into them, they can actually just farm up creep camps and creep waves all by their own, and really helps ramp up your GPM. So we'll see how well Yutaro is able to use it and try and bring himself back into this. But Yutaro, he's made a rotation down to the bot with the tornado lead up onto No-Tail with the cold snap as well. Brings down the Enigma, and maybe they might start focusing a little bit of attention to Seb. This is no easy kills to get whatsoever. He's just going to slowly waddle away. Actually, he does not care at all. He just starts hitting the creeps. Not worried about any other sort of follow-up coming out from the rest of Yellow Submarines. Just the balls on this man is too damn much. I mean, 8 minutes in, they already started chipping away at the tier 2 tower. Really scary for the side of the Yellow Submarines. Oh, and even Collapse ends up dying up top once again against Suxer in mid 1. More space for the Sven. Less space for the Mars. Even though I think that's actually the Mars's. Oh, it's the second death. So once again, this is just feeling like a little bit of an OG show right now. Yellow Submarines, they need to do something. I'm not even sure what that something is. I think maybe Tora needs to start making some moves around the map and just trying to grab a couple of kills for the side of Yellow Submarine. Surely got that one onto No-Tail at the bot lane, but it's only the position 5 kill. Maybe he needs to make a move up towards the top, try and get a grab onto mid 1 or something while he's farming up the creep camps. Go for a smoke up play with Collapse. And yeah, he could potentially try and get the kill onto mid 1 then and delay out his farm. Try and close the gap between him and Yutaro. Actually saw the Dragon Slave come out, puts the arena down, actually just about manages to clip onto Suxer with the spear and the Hadoken. It's enough to finish him off. Seb's even rotated up here himself. Wants to just try and push Collapse as far away from the tower as he possibly can. Actually, he's going to carry on charging forwards. Super aggressive. Just feels real damn potent right now. Even this long-range impetus is quite a lot of damage being chucked out. No-Tail, he actually ends up dying one more time. It's actually a solo kill this time from Toron. So a little bit of extra space, but now Seb needs to start being careful. He's getting pretty low. The impetus is doing a lot of magic damage, which is screw over your reactive armor. And Seb just ends up dying. Really, really obscure sequence of events. Seb was just sort of... I think he was overestimating his reactive armor, but obviously when the impetus is coming out from a Poshka, it's not tons and tons of auto attacks fueling the reactive armor charges. It's just the occasional one real powerful magical damage hit, ignoring all that armor, and not giving you any extra charges for the HP regen. So at least the other submarines, they managed to find something. Thompson's still just pressure onto his tier 1 tower, but mid 1 and No-Tail's waiting on the side. The Black Hole comes out, doesn't actually clips onto Collapse, which is what I thought No-Tail was going to try and aim for. But even still, they managed to get the kill onto a post either way. Forces Collapse to run all the way back to base as well. Even Yatara ended up coming around here to try and lend a helping hand, but couldn't quite find the grab onto anyone. So YeS now just going to start falling back, securing a bit more farm up. Maybe potentially try and force down this tier 2 at the bot in a minute. Seems out stand at half HP. It should be a pretty easy kill to get before the 20-minute mark and really try and extend their XP lead. I'm sure they probably got one already, but they also want to make it even further. 2,000 so far. Yatara's got a few stat items online, so at least his illusions, his images, they're going to be able to have a little bit better of a farm speed. Oh, the arena actually comes out up top. They're going to try and get another kill onto Seb, and they will manage to find it. 4 heroes committed though. But I mean, yeah, it's space. It's pretty good. Even the glyph ends up being forced out down the bot lane. So I think OG now it's going to be able to bring down this tier 2 tower at the 12-minute mark. It's going to be a rotation coming out from Torin with the tornado. Tries to make enough space, but now everyone's going to pop his God Strength. Maybe we're going to try and force down the City Tower, but out comes the EMP. Make everyone just run in the opposite direction. Even Collapse ends up coming in himself. Oh, he might be in a really dodgy situation. Nice dodge there from mid 1. Make sure he doesn't get caught out by that stun. And now looks like OG will finally probably disengage. Meanwhile, Thompson, he's in a mix of everyone. 4 heroes all around him. He's going to try and run away, but he's slowed up from the push right now. He's got his battle trance ready to pop if he needs to, and he is actually going to be forced to use it. Only manages to get the targets onto the creeps though, so he will manage to lifesteal up quite a bit. Even the charge forwards the spear coming out from Collapse in the background. 2 heroes on the side of OG got pretty low there. Sucks are in mid 1. They got hit by that tornado. But even still, not enough to bring them down. And everyone will survive. Even mid 1s are still hanging around this area. Torin though sat on the high ground. And Thompson needs to be really careful now. He's completely surrounded. Out comes the EMP and a lot of follow-up damage. This is going to be a way of an overextension there from Thompson. Oh. They tried leaving the kill there for Yatara, but Thompson with the stick forces Collapse to go for the secure. Maybe still, Thompson is second on this net worth. He's not really done anything really big in the team fights, but you just know that if it's going to go on much longer, this Troll Warlords will start to become a real nuisance. Looks like Sobad and Torin, they managed to find the initiation onto No-Tail, sewing him up with the cold snaps. Now comes the Impetus and Tornado. They'll be able to finish off the Enigma. And that's just going to be enough space to try and bring down this tier 1 tower. No deny coming in, but Thompson, he's gone for a very aggressive TP. He's gone straight on in there. Immediately gets locked down by the arena. Deleted in a second. I think he was expecting a little bit more support coming out from the rest of OG, but there was just nothing they could do. Very awkward TP location. So maybe this is the space the Yellow Submarine are after. A couple of easy kills onto the Troll Warlord. Just more and more space for Yatara at the moment. Another spear onto Seb in the mid lane. There's loads of damage coming in for all this magic. The purification of the Impetus is doing quite a bit of chance to Seb, but he's able to get the timber chains away. And he will survive. So what's the farm mid 1 like? Got his Mask of Madness and the Echo. Working towards the BKB this game. Rather than going for any sort of heavily aggressive build. Wants to be able to just make sure he doesn't get locked down by the constant spell spam coming out from the Invoker. As well as the Arena and the Spear from the Mars as well. Can make it really awkward for him to do anything in these fights. But it looks like No-Tail, he ends up getting the grab onto Collapse. Even Seb and Sucks are actually leaving the final ticks of damage for No-Tail as well. Want to funnel a little bit of money into position 5, perhaps. But Thompson, he ends up falling in the mid lane. Again, another death for him, in very quick conjunction with the rest of them. But, I mean, I suppose it was space for the rest of OG to finish up their tier 2 tower. And Pochko manages to steal one of the bounty runes away from OG, but it may just cost him his life. Going to try to steal away the creep. Gets hit by the Laguna Blade and the LSA, settle him up. He's just trying to waste as much space as he possibly can, but Seb comes flying in there with the timber chain and cuts Bambi in half. Cool. Guys, you need to grab the bounty. Someone needs to go grab the bounty, boys. Is that Sucks who will do it? He should do it. Even still, Smoke Gang coming out from YeS Submarines at the top. They're going to get the initiation onto Thompson one more time. And again, the troll falls. It's 4 deaths in a row for absolutely nothing on this troll right now. He's been severely hindered this game. YeS Submarines just laying the hate down onto Thompson. No collapse turret. They can try and bring down this Roche just on their own. Meanwhile, the rest of them making a little bit of space. Again, moves on to Seb, taking tons of damage out of that. Fire Impetus, super long range, brings him down. So they finally kill onto the offlaner. Meanwhile, collapsing the turret, they're still doing the Roche. This is so much space. I don't think there's anything OG can really do to try and contest this. The stun comes out there onto Torrent, but did they have any grace on him? The stuns don't last long at all. And the Evoker's able just to run away. Now the Roche falls. Aegis into the hands of Yutaro. And this gold lead that was starting to climb for OGs has now just been shrinking more and more. Only now 1k gold advantage. So these last sequence events are going very, very well for YeS Submarines. I think OG are going to probably start panicking a little bit now. They need to, because they need to try and make some moves happen before this Terrorblade starts getting even more farmed. I mean, there's only a 1k gold difference between him and the Sven as well. And Sven's one of those heroes which sort of likes to have the net worth advantage. It's not quite as bad as say, like an Alchemist or something, but generally you do want like a good 1,000, 2,000 area above the other core to really feel your effectiveness. But it looks like Seb, though, is going to get gone on again, taking quite a bit of magic damage. This is the benefit of the YeS Submarines lineup, able to do quite a large chunk onto the Timbersaw and ignoring large portions of the reactive armor stacks. A very aggressive positioning coming up from YeS Submarines just to try and take control of everything on the side of OG's jungle. The LSA did connect onto Miposhka, but Seb was just held back by this Centaur stun. Looks like OG are going to try and mount some sort of defense up top for their tier 2. It does look like YeS Submarines are going to try and pressure in much further. They don't want to get too carried away. Just sort of hanging around the area at the moment. Seb nearly walks into Yutaro. The YeS Submarines, they're done waiting around. They're going to fall back a little bit. Actually, head to go today. He's going to TP back to the bot. So TB's, Terrorblade's going to start just carrying on his farming speed. Working towards the Skadi is this next item. You are still quite a large portion of OG gathered up in the mid. And they are now going to go for a smoke up for the 3 heroes. It looks like they run straight into collapse to get the backstab onto him. The smoke pops to move on. Oh, but they actually guessed the wrong direction. They thought the smoke popped from the high ground. They end up charging completely the wrong way. And now it just looks like Seb, he's getting gone on again by the side of YeS Submarines. Oh, the Timber Chain avoids the arena perfectly. Very well timed Timber Chain. And now YeS Submarines needs to get the hell out of there. Torrent is, if it's ends up getting spawned. LSA actually connects there into the trees. Lovely play right there. Even the Black Hole gets committed, so they will find the kill onto the Evoker. But at least that was enough space for everyone else on the side of YeS Submarines to get the hell out of there. So they only lose the Evoker. But they did also sort of cost them the arena as well. It is a relatively short cooldown though for one of those big ultimates, so I don't think they mind that much. Not quite sure what the tip there from No-Tail was onto Yutaro. Who knows? So mid one, now with BKB ready and waiting to use, he's got the Axe queued up as his next item. Gonna be a good way to just fly over the walls from the arena to really make sure he can constantly get stuck in these coming fights. Tornado just slightly off the mark there, nearly grabs Thompson. Basuksa just able to take the outpost before the 20-minute mark. Allows OG to get that exclusive XP boost. And even though we did see that the net worth difference shrink to only like less than 1,000 gold at one point, it's actually just starting to slowly climb back up into OG's favour. As mid one's really starting to get his farm on, as well as Thompson as well. No, sorry. Just trying to get initiation onto Saxo as well. Dealing quite a bit of damage, but there's no sort of vision follow-up. You just got out of the range of the sentry ward. But still, quite a few heroes committed from YeS Submarines at this top lane again. Maybe they potentially want to try and make a move onto Collapse. Seems they'll Seb would rotate up here as well. They're not going to find any sort of opening. Now YeS Submarines is going to back out once again. There's still the Sages available for Yutaro, but I guess YeS Submarines are just using this as a deterrent rather than some sort of means to actually make some plays around the map. I mean, Yutaro, he has pretty much just got his Manta as well. Not like he's just got it, but he's only got a Manta style as his only item. Still working towards that Skadi. Not a million miles away now. Only about 1,600 gold. So he should have that online in the next couple of minutes. Meanwhile, with Poshka and Torin, they found the grab onto Seb. Ooh, the Meteor Hammer is slightly off the mark there, so Seb won't get controlled up by that. But even still, the EMP connects, burns away quite a large chunk of his mana. With the stick, he's able to recover some of it. Poshka just TP's out there. Torin's trying to run away. There's a lot of members from OG coming around from the side. But again, there's no detection on the side of OG to try and spot him out. So even he will survive himself. That's 4 heroes from OG set at the top lane now. Maybe think about trying to pressure onto this tier 2 when the next wave comes, perhaps. Have to see where they move. Thompson and Saxo, they get spotted out by this high ground ward, so they need to be a little bit careful. Tornado comes out, only going to grab onto Saxo now with the EMP. That's not doing tons of damage. They might be able to get the kill, but he needs to be careful. OG, Thompson and mid-1 rotate around to the side. Even Seb getting involved. But the Heavenly Grace was so bad, makes all this disable last no time at all. And he's able just to walk it off. So this is very difficult for both teams to really just try and make an easy engagement and kick a fight off. It feels like mid-1 really needs this Axe online. Seems to be the only real item he can get to try and just get on top of people. Oh, it looks like down bot. Seb, he might just be caught out one more time here. There is no tail off to the side. See if he's going to be able to find a little bit of assistance. But I think just Seb, nah, leaves me to die. There's no way I'm surviving this. Oh, he's still alive. What? Oh, he's still alive. What's going on? Okay, now he does. The final impetus comes out there from Poshka, finishes him off. Just making a little bit of space. Made him waste a bit of time. I think he realised there that he was dead, so he didn't bother trying to go for any sort of cute plays. It was sort of like, oh, I'm probably going to die, boys. Just dives through the middle of everyone. Makes it as showy as he possibly can. So OG just waiting for this Axe to come online. Then we'll probably see him make their next key move. So online it's 300 gold. Meanwhile for Yutaro, he's got that Skadi now. And Dragon Lance is his next item. But his Metamorphosis is actually just run out. So once mid-1 gets that Axe, this could be a perfect time for OG to try and make a move. As the combat effectiveness of the Terrorblade is severely weakened. Especially since it doesn't even have that the Aegis either. Even Thompson can have his Manta up. Well, as soon as this courier really gets to the outpost. So Axe online for mid-1. About to be Manta online for Thompson. But Torrent, he also makes sure he can't finish the item in time. Leading up the Tornado into the arena and the stun. Meteor Hammer on top. Trying to control Thompson. Well, he was just able to get the Battle Trance off in time. Now mid-1 comes flying in. Going to try and lend a bit of help in now. So bad this goes flying off to the side. The Black Hole comes out from no tail, locking 2 heroes down. They both get deleted pretty damn quickly. And now mid-1's trying to go on to So Bad once again. But he gets speared off to the side but collapse, making plenty of space to retreat. But So Bad, he got blocked up by the creeps. And that's actually give enough time for mid-1 to get close enough. Superman's on into the Omni Knight and brings him down as well. So it actually ends up being 3 kills for OG, not losing anyone. Thompson just barely able to survive. He's probably just sat spamming that R button. Mid-1 and Seb, they're not done yet. They're going to find the grab onto Collapse one more time, trying to bring him down, and they will finish him off behind the tier 3 tower. So everyone else was dead. Only Yutaro left alive, but he's off of the other part of the map, just farming away. Oh, he's going for the TP. No tail just cancels his TP. Oh, the space is going to get melted. There's no Terrorblade to stop this push coming out. There is a backdoor protection, but there's creeps about to arrive. So this should just be a whole lane of barracks gone completely for free. Yutaro's trying to go over here as fast as he possibly can, but he's not going to be able to get in time to save the melee barracks. And now OG just needs to get out there. They've got what they wanted to get. Oh, Seb, Shane actually ends up missing the tree, so it looks like he will fall for this. So YeS Submarines, they found something at least. I don't think it's quite enough. Sucks up going for the TP out. Just barely able to make it before Toron got the vision onto him there. But he's not done yet. He's hunting forwards, trying to find mid one, but he ends up walking the wrong direction. So the key heroes on the side of OG managed to get out there with the lies. Now, YeS Submarines have gone for a smoke-up play. They need to use this metamorphosis somehow and actually get some good use out of it. The double damage is found. I think actually got denied by the Eidolons there, but luckily for YeS Submarines, Roshan is actually up now to try and make use of this meta, which has only got core restoration, especially with Alacrity on top as well. Down to half HP. But OG, they're set up in this high ground. I think they realise this is going on, especially with the a couple of the Eidolons are going to be running into the pit. They just about spot the HP. Mid-one, he comes flying in there. He wants to get involved right now, but he really comes out of Collapse, trying to make enough space. Yutaro getting focused out. He goes for the Sunder, but it's onto a low HP target. He doesn't get anything. Collapse can't even finish off grabbing the Aegis. Mid-one doesn't even care about finish off Collapse, just wants that hyper overkill on the Yutaro, brings him down, and Saxo just finishes off the Miles alone. And now everyone on the side of YeS Submarines in disarray. They need to get the hell out of there right now. But Poshka looks like he's going to be the one to fall. He's got the Glimmer Cape. I don't think there's actually any detection now on the side of OG, so it looks like he will be able to get out of there. Goes for a cheeky TP. Ooh, mid-one just barely gets the vision. Not in time. So at least he survives, but even still, that's the Mars and the Terrorblade going down. And you don't even get the Aegis. You don't even get the kill into the Roshiva. That's real salt in the wound. If they managed to get that pretty cleanly, then this game could have gone completely flipped on its head. And maybe YeS Submarines could have tried to press the advantage, but the sequence of plays just doesn't let that happen. And they end up just completely flopping instead. Tier 2 top gone, Tier 2 mid gone. All the buildings in the base now are all opened up to get sieged by OG. But at least everyone else on the side of the YeS Submarines has spawned. No matter out for 25 seconds over Toron. He goes for the grab, wants to be one, but it's not going to be enough. He ends up getting focused up himself, can try and run away. A lot of stunts come out, especially with his cold snap, controlling mid-one, holding him in place. Arena comes out, locking two of them in, but there's Superman mode out there from mid-one, connects onto the Ultra makes plenty of space for him. It's just Seb left in there, but the Black Hole comes up no tail, immediately cancelled by the spear that comes out from Collapse. Even the Sunder then onto Saxo, tries to give him lots of HP as he possibly can. Thompson just running around in the base at the moment. And that looks like OG might just walk back low. Forget about walking back. Seb just runs into everyone. What's he doing? He ends up just dying. And now mid-one comes flying there. They want to try and find something out of this. They will get the kill onto Poshka. Yutaro though is Metamorphosis is back online. He's able to do so much damage from far, but mid-one he's not done yet. He's even going to put the BKB. And now everyone on the side of OG just needs to get back. Yutaro doesn't want to let anyone escape though. Just throwing out constant right clicks. Thompson getting pretty low. Can't even get the battle trance off in time. All the cheese usage. The spear came out there from Collapse. Even Noto ends up getting caught. Saxa and mid-one, the only ones left. And I don't think Saxa's going to be able to live to tell another tale. He gets dropped as well. Just mid-one as the lone survivor against that entire assault. And all they found was a kill onto Poshka. There was a buyback on Toron, I suppose. But even still, amazing fight there coming out from YeS Submarine. That's just what they wanted, to be able to keep themselves in this game. Sure, there is the Aegis and Cheese still intact though, so potentially OG can come for another offensive pretty soon once they're all up. But it's something good. It's something good. That's me. YeS Submarine, they've got the light at the end of the tunnel now. If they can take one fight, they can take another fight. They just have to have meta online, and Yutaro needs to be in a really, really nice position. He's got quite a lot of money though sat in his back pocket. And he's going for that MKB as his next item. So a good way to deal with the mischances that come out from the Troll Warlord when he hits you with those whirling axes. Plus this is a generally good item for a Terrorblade as well. Allows him to pump out a lot of extra damage. Bounties end up spawning. We'll just be 2 for 2 across the map. But once again, that's both outposts controlled by OG at the 30-minute mark. So another big boost of XP going towards them. Only another 20 seconds to meta. Potentially Yellow Submarines may go for an offensive play, perhaps. Maybe try and abuse the Aegis timer. It's going in about 50 seconds. So if they try and time it correctly onto a jump onto mid 1, they could maybe get the kill onto him just as it runs out. And that would be a real disaster for OG if they can find such an opening. We'll see if they maybe go for that move. As Meta is now up. Is there a smoke on anyone? Yeah, there's a smoke on Maposhka. But they're not going to go for it just yet. They're actually going to try and make a move onto Seb once again. Tornado lead up into the Meteor Hammer. Manages to connect on him before the Timber Chain gets him out of there. Even speared to the tree there by Collapse. Oop. Another chain cancel there by the Cold Feet. They finally get the kill onto Seb. Maybe it's just the Timbersaw, but it is to the core on the side of OG. Space is space. And MKB also finished up now for Yataro. This is definitely a nice power spike for the side of Yellow Submarines. We'll see if they want to try and use it though. Or if they're just gonna carry on playing very defensively. Just a little bit too scared to try and actually make any moves themselves. Just gonna play very reactional this game. Tornado from Torrent, but actually just gets countered by the Superman come flying out from mid 1, and Torrent just gets deleted. Now Yataro needs to be really careful himself, stuck in there, going to commit with the Metamorphosis, stand his ground against mid 1, doing tons of damage. The Eevee Steel's getting pretty low. Black Hole even comes out there from No-Tail and the Laguna Blade into Yataro's face, deletes him. No way he could survive that. Gone for 60 seconds, no buyback. And now it's just going to be OG charging down the mid lane. Even Seb up in 3 seconds to assist the rest of his team. Just the two main cores on the Yellow Submarine just gone for such a long time, with no chance of coming back into this. We'll see if somehow the other 3 members of the Yellow Submarine is able to perform some sort of miracle defense. I just don't see it happening though. This is plenty of time for OG to do tons of damage. Jump forward from No-Tail. With the stun just onto Maposhka. It just wants to force them back. Doesn't really want to get too stuck in there. Melee barracks falls. Range barracks also falls. Ooh, I even missed that. Maposhka ended up getting gone on. Jump forward for mid 1 as well. Immediate buyback from the Bambi. Wants to try and assist the rest of his team, but I'm not sure what else he's going to really be able to do. Thompson immediately going to start jumping onto Maposhka again. Gets hit by the LSA. Gets brought down. One final hit from the Troll Warlord. Even Seb's not done. Just constantly harassing out onto Collapse. Doesn't want to give him any space. And now OG is going to start working onto this top lane of barracks. Yataro is about to respawn. Are they going to be able to defend their base though before they get megaed? I don't think they are. The melee barracks falls. The rain barracks gets the lead as well. And this is now just over. I think this is just over. I don't see what Yellow Submarines can do. This Terrorblade is just not big enough. I mean, sure, he's actually quite scary in these team fights, but it's just so easy for OG to just lock him down. Especially with the Black Hole. I think Yataro was just heavily relying on the status resistance that comes out from the Omni Knight to try and keep him up in these fights. But even still, there's just way too many disables on the side of OG. So I mean, they've not GG'd out. They feel like they can. They feel like they could do something. I'm sure they're going to go for one last ditch defense of the Ancient. You know, it's the name of the game. It's what they want to play for. It's what they're going to aim to do. We'll see if they've got the ability to do it though. That is the real question. Tara still needs so much more money as well, so he can actually have his buyback even available. The thing is, I imagine No-Tail's got a BKB and everything, right? So all he has to do is this BKB Black Hole Yataro, and there is no cancel for the Terrorblade. Like, there's no way to stop this from happening. All they could do is hope that that So Bad is able to get like a GA off onto him and everything to try and mitigate as much of the damage and hope he survives the Black Hole duration. I just don't think they really do. I think this is too much burst that comes out from the side of OG. So maybe if Yellow Submarines can find the pick onto No Tail before, perhaps they might be able to get an opening and take a few other key members on the side of OG, perhaps. But even still, they're taking away this third Rosham. Aegis, Cheese, and Refresher. They don't even care about the cheese, actually. They're just going to leave it. Mid one will now take it. Pass it over to Thompson. Thompson, 2 cheeses in his pocket. The greedy man. He's got all the dairy in the world. But now we'll see what OG's able to do with this double black hole that's ready and waiting to come out. As soon as Yutaro shows himself, the real Yutaro that is, we just know he's going to get jumped on. Jump forward from OG. No Tail, there it is. The BKB plus the black hole. Gonna pop the refresher shard, immediately pops the other black hole, even though he didn't actually need to at that point. Now he's going to TP in very aggressively. The arena and the spear comes up there, holding down Thompson. The mid one immediately jumps forward, deletes so bad. And then Yutaro, as soon as he gets stuck in there, oh, he nearly got time to get the sun off there, but still just wasn't enough. He gets dived back. The potion is going to end up falling as well. Mid one just diving into the pool. Will die the first time. Collapses ready away. Maybe wants to try and get another kill. Can spear him back into the base. But an immediate buy of the Ghost Scepter there from mid one. Super fast reactions. Keep himself alive. It doesn't matter. GG was already called. OG taking the series 2-0. I mean, that game, I'd say it wasn't as dominant. It feels pretty damn dominant. They closed out like so convincingly. They easily got those Megas online. Just wasn't really much the other Submarines could do to put up a fight and keep themselves in that one. But yeah, I mean, it wasn't as one-sided as game one, because they were finding a few grabs in like that sort of early mid-game area where potentially they could have started trying to snowball the other way, but they just couldn't quite find the openings. And maybe Torin just, yeah, maybe need to get a little bit more active perhaps. But either way, OG, very dominant showing there, very convincing plays. And yeah, they just closed out the series 2-0, relatively easy. So that is Yellow Submarines getting actually taken out of the tournament already, even though they just came up from Division 2. They get immediately slapped down in a 2-0 there by OG. Just real disrespect from them. But, you know, Yellow Submarine, we'll see what they're able to do in the future. They're still relatively new. I mean, not super new. They're about, what, six months old? Yellow Submarines? Probably a bit older than that, perhaps. But even still, I'm sure we'll expect better things from them in the future. We'll see what they're able to do. But if you guys have enjoyed this game, then yeah, please stick around for future ones. I'm doing some more games tomorrow. I'll be doing Viking versus Na'Vi tomorrow at 7 o'clock again. I would do the VP Team Secret game, but it's at 4 o'clock. Unfortunately, I have work, so I can't do that. But yeah, if you guys have enjoyed this, please stick around and watch that game tomorrow as well. I'll see you there for that. Thanks for watching that video, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it and the content I was able to provide. I am just starting out, so if you did like it and you want to support me in the future, then please think about following and subscribing to me on Twitch, Twitter and YouTube. I post on Twitter what events I plan on covering in the future and when I'm actually able to do some casts. I don't have the most free time in the world, unfortunately, so I can't provide constant content, but I can guarantee you every single time that I do cast, I'm giving it my all because I have a lot of passion for it, and hopefully that does come off. So once again, hopefully you guys enjoyed it and you stick around for the next video. So hopefully I see you guys there. Cheers.